What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the second season of the 9Trick podcast with a very special guest. We got Yoder slash Zibor. I don't know what you want me to call you. I think Yoder is just...
Yoder's my name. Might as well use it.
Yeah. We'll get into the other name here soon, but Yoder has been one of my more recent friends. I met him about a year ago almost now, and he's been a great introduction piece to collegiate Rainbow Six Siege and, NMSU rapping in general. And so I thought it would be a good idea to get him on the podcast and just talk about some cool shit, some gaming stuff and all that. He's one of the more interesting people in the space, and as we all know, gamers can be very antisocial and anti-interesting and just want to play the games that they play. So, very special episode. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing awesome, and we are very lucky and very privileged to have his voiceover match his face today. Being that his deep, beautiful voice is one to really marvel at. Anyway, let's move into our first topic. As we all know, like I said, his name is Zibor. That's his gamer tag. Do you have the origin? Do you know why you decided to go with that name?
So actually my dad was really into PC gaming whenever he was in college himself, playing World of Warcraft with his buddies kind of thing. His gamer tag was also Zilbor, just spelled with a slightly different way. So because I am a lazy person, I was like, hey, Dad, I want your username. Instead, I just put a Z in the front of it because, my first name's Zach. Easy as that.
Nice. Awesome. So it's just kind of like a...
homage to him.
Yeah, homage to him. That's awesome, dude. Did you ever play League of Legends? Or not League of Legends. World of Warcraft? Kind of like your father did?
No, I never played that. I started out as console player kind of thing, and I never got into the large MMOs.
Awesome. That kind of actually leads us into our second question. What's your favorite video game of all time?
It
would have to be a game. I mean, I know it's a tough question, but a game you find like the most enjoyable, like even today.
I mean, there are a few that I just go back to, like comfort games kind of thing, but probably one of the more recent ones, Metal Gear Revengeance. I played that on console years back, Xbox 360, and I brought it to the dorms. I played it like last night. I just started playing it again. It's just a good game. The soundtrack's amazing.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad that you brought your old last gen consoles to the college setting. And you mentioned that you were in the dorms. How are those? Which dorms do you live in? Because obviously we can see kind of like a dorm setup behind you. Yeah,
so I live in Chamisa. It's one of the older models, A or B kind of thing. I'm actually pretty lucky because I have this 2-bedroom apartment to myself. Managed to snag that in at the beginning of the semester, and I don't have to pay for the extra bedroom, which is really nice.
That's awesome. And you kind of have like, what is it? Is it because you didn't have a roommate? Is that why you just have 2 rooms or 2 bedrooms?
It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Normally you would fit 2 people in here, but for whatever reason, no one ever joined up on this empty bedroom, so I just got the whole space to myself.
Damn, I'm about to snag it. I'm kidding.
Come on over, yeah.
That's awesome, man. And we kind of already touched on you at NMSU. You're obviously I believe you're a sophomore, right?
Well, technically I'm a senior by credits, but...
Oh, okay. But you're a sophomore just like here time.
It's my 3rd year. We'll be going into 4th next.
Awesome, yeah. Cool. Yeah, so you have some tenure here. And obviously you've been involved in the esports scene longer than I have, obviously. And did you originally start with Rainbow Six Siege, or did you play something else?
No, I started straight out with Rainbow Six Siege. My buddy Brandon, or Tags, you might know him, he started getting me into the game, and then he joined the team, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty cool. I want to try out myself, and just got from there.
Nice, man. Who were I'm curious to ask this, who were like the leaders back then? Because I know Eustick probably wasn't one of the leaders back then, or was he? I'm not sure.
I mean, he kind of came in, it might have been around 2nd semester when we were doing that team. So the first captain was Fear Up. I'm not sure if you've ever seen him on the Discord, but
I think so.
He's a cool guy, Kale. Yeah, his name is Kale. He's a cool guy. He was very good at the game, but the kind of collegiate scene kind of stressed him out, so we just kind of went on from there. But Brandon was by far and away the top frag of the team, but the rest of the team, I don't even remember everyone else that was on there. I guess it would have been Chris, John, Brandon, and 2 others.
Maybe Saucy or Eustick, something like that.
Yeah, like Fair was on there as well.
Yeah. Nice, man. So you're like one of the more older iterations of the team. I don't even know who these people are. Like, I know Chris just because Saucy keeps talking, talks to him every once in a while. So that's pretty much it. But that's pretty cool, man. I wish I would have been around a little bit longer. I think me and Leon would have been
Good
probably,
addition, yeah.
yeah, we would have had a lot more experience under our belt than we do right now to be taking over certain stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome, man. And we're glad to have you back. And yeah. When it comes to the Collegiate R6, how many seasons did you actually compete in? Was it only CEA? Was it? I know Faceit was like this is the first time Faceit's being introduced. How many seasons were you actually competing in?
CEA and Faceit are the only leagues that we played in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I myself, because I coached for a season, but
Mm-hmm.
I played in, I think it was only the one semester.
Oh, awesome. Nice.
Yeah.
And that was last semester, or was that a
Would
couple
have
semesters
been,
ago?
I think, last spring. So
Last spring.
there you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
Awesome. And obviously the game has evolved a lot since then, and it's actually caused you to step away from the video game. We all know Rainbow Six Siege is one of the most mentally tasking games, and especially when shit that's supposed to work doesn't work, it could tilt you the fuck off the planet, and you leap into a very dark space. I remember you stepped away at the end of last semester, correct?
Yeah, that was specifically from the collegiate scene.
Mhm.
But then I stepped away from the game whenever a new season came out and they still hadn't fixed issues that I was worried about. So I was
Mhm.
like, all right, I'm just going to take a little break. And sometimes you need that.
Yeah, definitely. I understand that. What are some of the bigger issues in Rainbow Six Siege that made you step away?
So my biggest issue, like I loved watching pro
Mhm.
play and playing the game itself. And in both situations, the utility meta was absolutely debilitating. Defender side having like 3 operator gadgets that are all bulletproof, so you have to bring Ash, Zofia, and every single destructible operator
Mhm.
imaginable kind of thing just to deal with it. I was not a fan. Like I didn't like running the same lineup every single game and having that be attack. That was it. But
Definitely.
yeah. So after the new character, what's her name, Rooney came
Mhm.
out, and they tried to touch up a few characters, Jaeger and Wilmaya. They did nerf them a little bit,
Mhm.
but I still wasn't happy with the direction they were going. So I was like, I'll just sit the season out, kind of thing.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I remember because I played majority of last season too, and since like last year in October, literally the lineup was Ash, Zoff, Sledge, Thermite, or Ace, or whatever hard breach we wanted, and then maybe a secondary hard breach, or a secondary like util burn like Kali.
Like that, or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was honestly, I mean, it was cool to know that people were gonna be playing the exact same way pretty much
It's
every
pretty
single
cool, yeah.
time. Compared to this season's been a little bit different. We're all weaning off that util meta and trying to play more like gadget like flexibility rules. So that's why
Right.
Smoke is still super popular. He's got a lot of flexibility that he can do with his whole set and kit. But you still definitely see like little inklings of, here's 3 shields on the map, a Maluzi, 4 ADSs, 8 Womai discs all on one doorway. So you still
Yeah.
get inklings of that, and it's actually a little bit more refreshing to me, at least, because at least, okay, we have this kind of util to work with this, like the introduction to Gone Sticks and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of teams have been playing a lot weirder now that they don't have to rely on that sort of meta because it doesn't always work now. So I know personally that meta fucking sucked. I know you were coaching last semester or something
Yeah.
with the academy team. That must have fucking sucked.
It was tough. Yeah.
Yeah, being that there was like so many fucking people, just abusing that shit. So I'm glad that they are taking it in the way that they are with the Gone 6, the introduction of Flores, and some other util based like live stuff. So for instance, like Nomad, if she puts down her Nomad things and she dies, that just kind of cancels out her Nomads. So certain stuff like that on attack are good nerfs, and same thing for the defense too. I feel like they're really closing the gap when it comes to like the changes there. And recently you had let us all know in the Discord that you have inklings of coming back to the scene. Why is that?
So, like you mentioned, the changes that they're making to Siege, they're actually working on the issues that I was kind of being worried about, actually giving attackers a little bit more of a buff versus the utility meta. And just those quality of life improvements that I'm seeing that are going to be coming up, like attackers being able to switch their operators in the prep phase kind of thing. that is something that attack has needed for a long time now, because defending side has always been the stronger half, because you get to build what you want to build, and the attacking side has to deal with that, not the other way around.
Yeah.
So now you can actually bring the operators you need to deal with the defensive side.
And do you think this will probably apply to competitive, or will it only be like for ranked and casual?
I imagine it's going to be applied everywhere. It seems like one of those things that'll be like in ranked and unranked, and then it'll also have to be thrown in Pro League. But I don't know. Perhaps Pro League will try to keep the 6-pick phase what it is.
Are you in favor of keeping the 6-pick phase for what it is, or?
I'm not too sure. In competitive play, it makes a lot more sense to be able to read the enemy team kind of thing. In ranked, it's kind of rough because people can just go all over the place. But in pro play, I think keeping the 6-pick phase would actually be reasonable. It wouldn't be unheard of.
Yeah, definitely. That was one of my big issues when it came to like the new updates. Like, as soon as I heard that you could switch your entire lineup in like the span of 10 seconds, and I was like, okay, how is this going to be applied to COM? And then like the 6-pick phase, what is that going to happen? What's going to happen in the 6-pick phase? So I don't know. I personally like the 6-pick phase because it gives the both of the teams a little bit of leeway to change their lineup depending on what the map site is, or even throw off the enemy team with like hiding somebody, stuff like that. So we'll have to see how it applies to unranked and ranked and even casual, and maybe they'll bring it to competitive. My only hope is that competitive will always be at the forefront of game changes. For instance, like map bans and stuff like that was mainly a competitive thing, and then they brought it into ranked and unranked. So I hope that they kind of keep that kind of method still. Maybe delaying it a little bit and see how it works and stuff like that. So we'll have to see.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. And obviously we saw last semester, we saw you actually being able to stream some of our matches and cast them. We obviously know you have a lot of experience playing, coaching, and casting now. Do you have any plans for maybe continuing casting or coaching?
So my mechanical skill in the game is not the greatest, and I'm aware of that. So I try to rely on the roles that actually work on my experience with the game instead of my actual skill. So casting is actually one of the more interesting roles for me. I think I'd actually have a real good time doing that, but I would need a lot of practice, and I'm totally out of it at this point. So
yeah, you have that caster voice. So I personally think you'd be an awesome caster. I know it's not hard. I obviously cast the Call of Duty team a bunch, and thankfully I get to do that every week, and the maps are like the same 5 maps every fucking time. So, I don't have to worry about a 7-map pool.
And a bunch of callouts, yeah.
Yeah, and a bunch of callouts, a bunch of floors and stuff like that. So, I'm definitely right there with you. Practice definitely makes perfect, though. But hopefully we get some time in the lab. We get a little bit more studio-esque environments, and we can get you on a nice XLR microphone and really put you onto your true potential there. And yeah. So enough Siege for now.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
What other games have you been playing? I see you playing. Is it Magic the Gathering? That's what MTG Arena is. Yeah.
Exactly.
What other games have you been playing?
So Arena, I play the card game itself. So Arena is just my way of venting on the online format kind of thing. But recently, my buddy bought me the DLCs to Doom Eternal, and I've been trying to beat those things in the hardest difficulty. It's a fun game, but damn, is it tough.
I can only imagine, dude. I mean, the good thing about Doom is that you don't really have to have like the most monstrous computer. You can play it on a fucking TI 84 or some shit. So that's cool, man. What other games besides Magic?
So like I mentioned, the comfort picks of Metal Gear Vengeance, played that on my console recently, and I actually have a Switch. So just been playing the Pokemon Shield DLC every once in a while. It's one of my chill games. Like, I'm gonna lay down and just play this for an hour or so.
Damn, dude, I gotta add you on fucking Switch now too. Gotta get them Animal Crossing friends. I know you have it. You're just closeted. It's okay.
Don't actually have it. I went the Doom Eternal route. It was one or the other at that point for me.
You got Doom Eternal on your Switch?
No, not on the Switch. But it was during the release, Animal Crossing Doom kind of thing.
Oh, okay. I was very concerned for you. You were going to be playing on like 20 FPS or something like that. And yeah, man. Obviously, you have like the caster kind of esque about you, caster-esque type of person. You got the gamer chair, you got the gamer headset, and you play a bunch of other games. Can we see you on a return to content anytime soon?
Again, like I said, I wouldn't mind going back into a caster role, and if that's not possible, then I would still like to be joining in the team in some way or another. Like, even if my mechanical skill isn't enough to be on the team, I wouldn't mind being an analyst or even coaching again. Really just depends where I kind of slot it in there.
Yeah, definitely. What about like other external content? Like, do you see yourself maybe doing Twitch streams, YouTube videos, stuff like that?
It's not usually my wheelhouse. I do have a couple of buddies who own a YouTube channel, and I occasionally do stuff with them, but
Hmm.
it's not the same things that we do in NMSU stuff like Siege and all that. It's just kind of messing around, chilling, all that.
Nice. Yeah, we're definitely gonna try to hopefully build NMSU and the Siege scene throughout the summer. I guess we can use this as an informal announcement for all my fellow NMSU people out there. But we're gonna be going ahead and starting Siege Saturdays at NMSU. Pretty much just gonna be like an open invitation to all players of Siege. We'll probably be doing like a 5v5, 4v4 kind of format, depending on. Hopefully, we get enough people for 5v5, and just kind of have like regular 6-6 format, or first to 12 or something like that, where we could just kind of play matches with any of the students. And right now, both the academy and the varsity team needs players. So if we can scout out people that are good at the game that may not, maybe have the confidence, and we can build that confidence up, or, just scout out people that are already naturally good and confident, that'd be pretty awesome. That's still a lot in the works. I know this doesn't really apply to too many other people that are watching, but Yoder, what are your thoughts on that?
I heard that, and the first thing I said is, as soon as we get a dedicated time for that, I'm down, because I've
Definitely.
been waiting for getting back into this kind of thing.
Yeah. And even if it's like you casting and recording it, or not even streaming it, because I know streaming is a little bit tasking with Rainbow and streaming,
Yeah.
we can get something going on that end, like analyzing all the players, all the stats and stuff like that, kind of creating our own little version of Face It. So I think it would be a good idea to do that and just kind of maintain it like 12 weeks throughout the summer, and then top 5 people get into the team or something like that. So we'll have to see, man. Other than that, that pretty much concludes our podcast. I have a quick question with you, Yoder, last but not least. Who inspires you to be the better gamer that you are?
So, I mean, just in Siege in general, because
Mhm.
I don't try competitively in most other games. It's just
Yeah.
kind of my wheelhouse, just enjoy these games. But for Siege, I started watching Pro League and looked at EU and was like, wow, this G2 team seems pretty good. They
Mhm.
were doing their best they had in forever. They were on a year, like a 4-year winning streak or something like
Mhm.
that. I started watching content from Pengu, and he was just an amazing player, and he actually explained his thought processes and what was going on. I was like, you know what? This is a very it's good information. It is teaching me to be a better player.
Definitely, man. So you would say Pengu is at that forefront for you?
Yeah.
Definitely, man. That's awesome. Pengu is one of my favorite Rainbow Six Siege streamers. He was my favorite competitor too. Fortunately, he retired. But if I was playing as long as him, and I had played and won as much as him, I'd want to leave too. So
No, it's insane how much he's gone through. Yeah.
definitely, man. Well, thank you so much, Yoder. I appreciate you for stopping by. I know it's kind of weird just out of the blue recording a podcast with some random gamer on the internet. But we definitely appreciate your time. We definitely appreciate your input on some of these thoughts. And we hope to see you back into content soon, whether it's casting, whether it's coaching, whether it's playing. I know you can do it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys all have a great day. Peace.